What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? While everyone is focused on buying big old trucks, TehC is out here making more interesting types of trucks. Oh no, I'll let you know what I'm talking about in 1 second. Just be patient. Welcome to the news. Welcome to the news. So, in today's episode, what we're getting at a bit is how we're trying to contextualize using our frame of mind to start to reference the store that we want to try to make for future reference in online spaces. In terms of reality, we wanted to make a skate shop for DINKY tech products, but a different type of skate shop. It's more like a surf shop and such, except as opposed to a typical type of surf or skate shop, it is more like a wave-length surfing shop. A wave-length surfing shop, meaning that we're talking obviously about spiritual finance at a pretty consistent basis. So this shop in a theoretical and realistic sense exists within the sky because it's an online placement store. It's an online store for now. To begin with, it lives online, and in the verse, that is the metaverse, it is in essence in the sky. That is how it is decorated, in essence, regardless, online. So that is the theme. It lives within the sky, within the energy, within certain lightning elements in the sky. And this is the theme, the SRF, Self-Realization Fellowship Waking Life shop that lives within the sky. It's just many different frequencies that are overlapping to be able to develop this experience, which hopefully you will get plenty of a kick out of. And in essence, when I mentioned a few minutes ago, it was kind of interesting talking about trucks that are all around the world. Oh yeah, welcome to the news. This is DINKY Tech, by the way. I'm pretty sure I said that a second ago. Oh yeah, I was talking about trucks. Trucks, like, in essence, the ones that DINKY Tech is going to make is trucks for skateboards, except they, obviously, those help you still get around. It's in a similar fashion, and a lot of what DINKY Tech focuses on is lightweight items, so that ultimately you get to live your best life, to be able to not have to be hunkered down by things that are large pieces of metal and hold you up, and so you have to be able to not be able to travel with things that you have, and be able to be light on your feet, so that you have more of a global perspective and more of a global ability to be able to change locations and change what you're doing in an instant, and such things. So spring trucks means that we're going to put springs inside of trucks, like skateboard trucks. It's kind of an addition to the spreadboard realm, the spreadboard making process, which we still want to make. The spreadboard, obviously, was talked about it many times in the past because it's a great little device to be able to help people get around with lightweight items that are just similar to, like, electric rollerblades, for example, that are super lightweight and condensed and interesting and unique, and offer different folks from different strokes the ability to get around and do different things. That is similar to talking about how we want to make medical vehicles as well to help, like, perhaps people that are elderly to be able to get around and do different things as well, because a lot of things are restrictive and there's not a lot of accommodation thought of for the medical market in terms of little physical products such ways such as that. For example, so moving on from here, that company from 2 days ago, Mind Valley, that did the example that talked about the world being borderless, and in essence has called out a trend for business coaching to become more of a trend in the future, and therefore it is something which, as a result of being a business coach, in terms of an accountability coach, DINKY Tech also has been somewhat offering the ability as a consultant to be available in terms of cause and effect coaching, in terms of being available, in terms of being like somewhat of a coach, in terms of consulting, in terms of just like helping to be able to develop the concept and the construct and the structure and the mindset so that the front end equals the back end, and in terms of trying to get to a result, that painting the development of a picture on the front end, in terms of making the stairway to get there, in terms of getting the cost equal the effect, is how DINKY Tech is adding to the accountability coaching features to be able to be a consultant, so that ultimately DINKY Tech is a cause and effect coach in the meantime as well, in case you have that interest or want to hire DINKY Tech for that purpose. In addition, kind thanks, cheerio. And moving on down, we also are intending to, in essence, make a depiction of how we're trying to move towards the global giving games by using something that is called the brokers B&B mindset and combining that with a brokerage, in essence, which is like Airbnb combined with brokers. Something I've somewhat mentioned in the past, which is like brokers is being brokers for other brokers, and we're trying to do that for, in essence, different real estate companies around the world by developing businesses that are for sale as assets and a means for assets to be able to be sold through real estate brokerages, and making those assets available through the pipeline of commercial brokerages for real estate, so that therefore there's the ability to make that connection, pipeline and tunnel, one asset to another, to be able to be sold through those means. And at the same time, to add to that, in essence, we're taking the company Beast Philanthropy, and in essence, that's what the Global Giving Games is taking that first equation of brokers, B&B, the brokerage, in essence, the theory of using Airbnb to be able to connect all of those assets that are for sale globally, worldwide, through the real estate market for sale, and then timesing that in this instance with the Beast Philanthropy, in essence, Mr. Beast, his philanthropy wing, where he goes around and does interesting deeds for people around the world. And in this instance, that's what DINKY TehC is aiming also to be, but this equation is including Beast Philanthropy times a brokerage, so that this Airbnb brokerage equation is times Beast Philanthropy, so that in essence you get the result of hopefully the Global Giving Games, which is in essence the outcome result of where we're trying to move towards in the long run and such things. So as we move on down the line, we in essence want to next highlight a couple additional items which entail just developing assets at scale, hopefully to start to buy assets at scale, being able to make sales and invest in differing assets that are scaling across multiple sides through the use of interviewing and talking to different folks, and sort of combining sales and assets at the same time, so that we're being able to buy advertising, but not only that, but differing various assets that are very strange, just like strange sounds, in essence, is a part of the process for future going items. Is strange sounds was talked about yesterday, but also global assets that are similar to the news, and waking life mindsets that are like very strange and offbeat, to be able to equal value, which also has to do with the games for change mindset. The change for games mindset, but also the spiritual finance mindset, to be able to combine buying assets at scale with speaking to people, speaking to folks, and combining that, and combining the waking life mindset, as well as the waking life mindset, as well as the buying many assets mindset of the spiritual finance. It's combined with the self-realization fellowship mindset, which is science and spirituality combined, and combining that with actually buying physical assets, so that and also sound making and making very strange sounds, so that in this instance we're talking about buying very strange global assets at scale, using this whole process of spiritual finance and change for games methodology, to be able to also result of the change for games realm, which is also equal to the global giving games, in essence. So all these items are meant to just be little steps forward to hopefully reach the result that is continuously adding energy and multiplying it and trying to compound these interests indeed. And with different places in the world, physical locations, such as somewhat within the Asian realm, or depending specifically physically, the DINKY TehC footprints will hopefully expand in the physical location. We hope to have physical gardens, to be able to exemplify vertical gardening and develop plant energy in a realistic sense, to be able to continue to expand on that mentality and expand on the garden style of integration of plant life and nature into all aspects of life and mindset and society, and also to even have like a bed within a garden, in essence, so that proper sleeping within the plants is quite something of the priority list. And in essence, at the same time, to round things out, we're at the same time with this mindset on the campaign trail, sort of trying to announce being on the campaign trail at last, and ultimately for the global giving games, the global giving games, the global giving games, yeah. The global giving games which is what is equal to Change for Games Studios. Taking all these items in the little pot, in the mush pot, is what Change for Games Studios ultimately equals the new film industry, the new film studio for the new AR world that exists, AR stories, augmented reality, and what is known as the metaverse, in essence, in terms of the context, the contextualization of Pokemon Go, combined with volunteerism, combined with flash mobs. Oh yeah, and as a little side note, trying to make sounds like Lauren Mayberry, the singer, used to be by combining a screen recording of some of these existing sound recordings from the podcast from a few days ago to be able to cast that into a screen recording of a live iMovie recording, and then some new sounds in the future is an ambition that might be added to the next podcast. Just doing that little blurb for, in essence, Lauren Mayberry as a little weird niche, specific person to target in terms of a random collaboration, that if we were going to try to make a random sound to try to pinpoint someone to begin with, to try to add value to their personal sound making music brand, that's what would be the conceptual collaboration of today. And we'll leave you with that. Thanks again. It's been the news. Cheers. Sorry it's been a wonky one. Almost basically asleep while doing this, but that's hopefully okay. But maybe it would have been better to do it when more awake. Anyways, sorry it's not really singing necessarily, but hope your day is good though nonetheless. And cheers. Thanks again. DINKY TehC. Bye. Peace.